Did I do that? This is part 22 of how I discovered that I was getting cheated on by Carl Winslow. So I just looked back at the schedule and I don't think that he had his kids on that Wednesday, but he left me and my best friend to ourselves. He did have to go to work on Thursday, and me and my best friend, we were out living our lives. But of course, like I did with everybody who came to visit, I took her to the station. And I took her to the station that day because although he worked on Sunday, she flew out on Sunday and that wouldn't have been ideal. So I remember when we got to the station, they were visiting another station that we went to often. And his homeboy, who I knew, we'll just call him Waldo, he greeted me and was like, "Oh, I heard you guys are going to San Diego." Now, mind you, some point during the week, he told me he spoke to Waldo while I was gone. And Waldo was talking to him and he was talking to Waldo, and he said, "This is the one that I always wanted to be with," or something like that. And Waldo was like, "Yeah, you finally get it. I've already known that." Something to that effect. Basically, like when he's saying that he figured out that he wanted to be with me for sure, this particular friend was saying that he already was up on it. Anyway, they give my best friend a tour of the station, and this literally happens every time my friends come to town. Everybody gets a tour of the stations, of the truck. It's kind of like a cool feature. You know what I'm saying? It's like a cool feature of having like a firefighter boyfriend. Like, okay, you know what I'm saying? You know, take my friends there. And my best friend loves Station 19. So like she keeps saying like, yeah, on station. This is how they be. So whatever. My best friend and I go, we keep living our lives after that. We go get our nails done. We go visit my line sister. On Friday, we are still doing our thing. Now, he is going to have his children this day. They're going to go skating. My best friend cooks dinner and he comes over after, okay? When he comes over after, a soror of mine, who is my best friend's ex-sister-in-law, we're all here, and he's here to have late dinner with us, and he brings something up. He asks about flowers and how they should be presented. And he's asking them essentially if they want their flowers wrapped up or unwrapped or whatever. Mind you, this is when I mentioned to him, "Where do you keep getting these loose flowers?" And he starts this conversation with them about these flowers that is very odd, you guys. I mean, like, it gets to the point of uncomfortable to where he's like, "So you want me to leave the flowers in the plastic?" And they're kind of like, "Yeah." And I'd already explained, like, I don't know where you're getting these loose flowers, but yeah, I don't care what kind of plastic they're in. He's like, "Well, they have the price tag on them. If they're in plastic, sure, take the price tag off, but give me the flowers in the plastic. I want to feel like I'm receiving an award." I don't know, but these loose flower vibes is giving me cartoons. I have to hold them and there are thorns on them. I don't know why you're giving me loose flowers. I don't want them like that anymore. Thank you, but no thank you. And essentially, my best friend and Sor say the same thing. And he's trying to make a point, and he's looking up definitions of like bouquets and arrangements. And it gets so weird. He looks at me, he's like, "Okay, you want your flowers wrapped up? If you want your flowers wrapped up, I'll show you wrapped up next time." To the point where I was like, I don't like that. Stop what you're doing. I don't like it. I didn't understand why he was being so defensive about these flowers. If you're giving somebody something and they ask you for them to be given in a different way or a certain way, mind you, you guys, I was super grateful. I was like, thank you. And then later on, it was just a question of where you keep getting these loose flowers, because I've never received loose flowers before. I just don't get it. And then he made it a point to make me feel weird about it. And I did not understand. And I told him I did not like that conversation and to stop. He went on later that night. I went to his house. And there was maybe it wasn't that night. Maybe it was the night before. No, it had to be that night. There was a pillow on the side of his bed. It was a wedge pillow. It was inflatable. And I just kind of noted that because he'd never had that before. I have one at my house. And I distinctly remember not touching it on purpose. I'm not touching that. I don't know where that's been. And he was on a long drive the next day. And he asked me, did you see that pillow? I said, I did. He was like, oh, okay. I said, that looks like a community pillow. So I'm not fucking with that pillow. And he said, no, I ordered that pillow for us. And I said, I didn't see him blow that pillow up. I don't know nothing about that pillow. I'm good on that pillow. We just came off of a break. I'm good off of that pillow. You feel me? So my best friend's here for a couple of days. She leaves and he plans a date night with me for Tuesday night. And he gets here and there's some random box. And he's like, I got something for you. And this box is beat up. And I open the box. And it's like a flower, a single flower, zip tied into like the best equivalent would be like a Shein bag. The bottom is like in a Shein bag, there's a zip tie and a flower. And I was like, I don't like that. Because it wasn't funny. It wasn't a joke. And there was something very strange about it. Now, he's like, takes it. He kind of gets salty. And he goes and he brings a vase. Very beautiful vase of roses. An arrangement. But there was some slight salt to him. And I felt like this was a joke for like a later time after you've presented me with flowers that I actually like. Because that last conversation about this was very weird. Very weird. We go on to have a really good date at one of our favorite restaurants. We go to the Consulate in Atlanta. And then something happens.